one thing that people ask a lot is, well, how much does it cost? And, my thought is, well, how much did your house cost? How much did you make? How many times did you have to have sex to get your kids?
And he came up to us after we were married and said, so, when are we going to get you pregnant? And I really wanted to say to him, I didn't know you were involved. But I didn't. And I've regretted that ever since.
From a bunch of people really is, oh, that's so good of you to want to adopt. That's so generous of you. And I'm like, it's not generous. I'm doing it for selfish reasons. It's not generous. It's because I want kids.
That's a very expensive adoption. Is this a black market baby? And my mom said, no, it's a black baby, but it's not a black market baby. I couldn't believe that.
And somebody was writing on the board, they had two lists. One was big trials, and the other one was small trials. And people were yelling out trials, and he was putting them in the big stuff list or the small stuff list. And people would yell out, cancer went in the big list, and death of a loved one went in the big list, and losing your car keys went in the small list. And somebody yelled out not being able to have children. And there are several people in our congregation who've had to deal with that. And the guy who was writing on the board, he put that in the small stuff list. Yeah, fortunately, there were several other people in the same group who all said, wait a minute, no, we got to put that in the big. And he's like, oh, okay, all right, yeah.
And when they ask questions about the, openness, it's usually uncomfortable questions about.
So can they take the baby back? Stuff like that.
I heard you adopted, and I said, oh, he's great, he's beautiful, except he cries a lot. At night he cries and keeps me up, so I'm really tired. And I was trying to explain why I was so tired, and all she could come up with was, well, he's crying, dear, because he's going through emotional withdrawal because he's been separated from his birth mother. And that's why you can never take that place. And so your baby is going through separation anxiety right now.
So, how are his real parents doing? It took a while to break them of that habit. We had to tell them that, well, if we're not his real parents, you're not his real grandparents.
Fixed it really
right up.
fast. I think one of the most hurtful things I've ever been told was actually by my own sister. And she said to me, this is the best way for you because the baby that you would adopt wouldn't have the problems that you could pass on genetically to your child. And that was like a stab in the heart.